Okay, I think many students are trying to join now, so we will start our discussion in 3 minutes. Okay, so if anyone has question related to PhD in abroad, you can type in the chat box. I will take your question from the chat box. And also some students are joining on the YouTube. So if you're joining to the YouTube, then I would say type your question in the chat box. I will take YouTube questions also. Okay, I will introduce about PhD admission initially, how it happens in the USA for the fall semester, how actually professors basically select international students. So I will give you brief idea how it will happen. Then if you have any question, you can always unmute and you can ask me. And other thing is if you are comfortable in typing in the chat box, then you can post your question in the chat box also. I will take it from there. So actually what happens, like PhD admission is a little bit different from the master's admission in USA specifically. If I'm saying like fall, if you're targeting the fall semester, it's a little bit different than master's admission. So what will happen if you're going for master's, then you just have to write the GRE exam, make a CV, make SOP, and directly apply to some universities. The masters, how students selected the universities, they generally don't go for the ranking and all. You always have to select like which university is good according to the industries around that particular university. For example, computer science people, they always come to the east coast and west coast of the USA. So like if you're selecting any of the university in New York and selecting any of the university in California, you always have greater chances of getting jobs, internships during your masters. Okay, but this is not how it works in the PhD. PhD, it's a little bit different. You never have to choose basically, I would say universities, you always have to choose the professors. So professors are very, very important for your PhD. If you ask me, sir, I'm getting a very high ranking university and I'm ranking some low ranking university where professor is very good. He's working on the same research area in which I am working. So I always tell you, like, don't go after the university ranking, select a good professor. So I'll give you one example. What happens, like I am doing, I got, when I was applying for PhD, I got offer from Purdue University also, and I got offer from University of Louisville, and right now I'm in the Rutgers University. So I rejected Purdue and I go to Rutgers University. Why? Because professor in my research area, the good professor was sitting in the Rutgers University. So this is how I choose. Basically, you always have to select the project, because once you do PhD in specific domain, then that is a project which basically will go with you during throughout your career. So I'm a mechanical engineer. If I want to working on, I want to work on thermal side, thermal engineering, then throughout my career, if I am going in academia or I'm going in some industry, I will become a thermal engineer if I do my PhD in thermal engineering. Similarly, like I want to work on a manufacturing side, 3D printing. So I choose those professors who are good in 3D printing, no matter like where is the university. So this is how it happens in USA. In India, back in India, what happens like if somebody is from IIT, no matter what is the research area, they always will get the greater job opportunities and all. But this is not the case with US and Europe. University ranking, that is one thing, but it doesn't matter. But there are a couple of other factors. Reputation of your professor, that is very, very important. How is his reputation in the research community? uh, that is very important. And when you go to some conferences and you will tell the people like I'm from that particular research group, so always you will get an advantage. So this is how you have to choose for your PhD and all. Other thing, if you want to go for PhD in fall 2024, I would say fall 2024 always start in the month of August. So August 2024, if you want to start your classes, first of all, who can apply? Those who are currently in seventh semester or eighth semester, you can also apply. If you're going to graduate next year, July, August, if your master's is going to end by July, August, you can apply for this fall semester. So what are the deadlines? Deadlines are 15 December in most of the universities. Then some of the universities have 1st December also, 10th January. If you're planning for Canada, it's generally in the February month and March, in the month of March. So this is basically you have to plan. Deadlines are different, but if you ask me what is a one particular date, that is, I would say 15 December. You have to select 15 December. Okay. So before 15 September, what you have to do? If you ask me in USA whether GRE is very, very important, I would say no, GRE is not very important. For PhD, I'm specifically telling. Masters, yes, GRE is very, very important. GRE score is very, very important. But for PhD, it's not. Okay, so you can get PhD admission with 305, 310, 312. Any GRE score is fine. Okay, some universities, they will not ask for GRE. GRE is waived off. If you want to know like what are those universities where GRE is waived off, I would say that is top 20 universities in USA. So there is a website called US News. If you go there, check for the top 20 universities, everywhere GRE is waived off. Okay, apart from that, there are some other universities where GRE is waived off. So you can always check the university website. If you're preparing for GRE, I always recommend you to write the GRE, because last year what happened in YourPedia, there is one student, for that particular student, professor was ready, credentials are very, very good. He was going for direct PhD, not PhD after masters. But only thing, he doesn't have GRE, and university doesn't accept his application. Now he's basically planning again, and he is going to write GRE now. So anyone is asking, Murshid, you are asking any question? If you have any question, you can unmute and ask me. I have one question on the YouTube. So Rishabh is saying, I'm currently in first year of MTech IIT Gandhinagar and targeting PhD in 2025. Should I start preparing documents like GRE? So Rishabh, if you're planning next year, first exam I always suggest is to prepare for GRE. GRE is valid for 5 years. And if you write it once, it is valid for 5 years. So first thing, if you are planning for next to next year, I would say GRE is the first thing you have to do. IELTS, it is valid for 2 years only. So I generally suggest, if you are going to basically, if you're going to if you want to go apply in the next fall, then you have to write IELTS exam in the month of October, November of next year. So IELTS, don't worry as of now. First of all, write GRE. uh, but yeah, what is most important, that is my next point. Before that, I want to take question. Murshid, if you have any question, you can unmute and ask me related to GRE. If you want, any one of you want to ask any question. Murshid Alam, you have to unmute.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, sir, I have completed my Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Stream,
Okay.
and my planning to do my Masters, that is MS, from Italy, sir.
Italy. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
I will give you a brief idea about masters, but mainly this session is related to PhD in USA. If you want to go for masters in Italy, I would say you need different set of documents. Our mentor is taking another session specifically for masters in Europe. You can join that. So, but overall, what you have to do, you have to GR is not required. You have to give this English proficiency exam and some documents you have to prepare. So that you can discuss with our mentor who is taking care of master's admission. Okay, they will explain you in the detail, but GR is not required for you in Italy.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
yeah, okay. So, yes, next question. My question is, there is any getting seat in PhD with any publication? That part I'm basically coming. So, so this is about GRE, like how to basically where is GRE required, whether it is mandatory or not. To score, it doesn't matter how much score you will get. But yes, if you're preparing for GRE, I recommend you should write GRE. Don't worry about score. Above 300, I think everything is fine. Okay. So, but yeah, if you don't have GRE score, you can't apply in some of the universities. But still, 40% or 50% universities in USA already waived off this exam. So you can always search for that. If you want a list of those universities, you can contact YourPedia mentors. So I hope like we have your contact number, and our executive will basically contact you, and she will tell you like where GRE is not required, what are those universities where GRE is not required. So next thing, GRE, if you ask me, it is not the most important exam. Okay, I'll get some question in the chat box on YouTube. Third year mechanical student, and I want to do direct PhD abroad in industrial. I have CGPA around 7 till now. Okay, so Somesh, if for direct PhD, there is one thumb rule. If your CGPA is less than 8, direct PhD is very, very difficult if you are an international student. If you are sitting in India and you want direct PhD, below 8, it is difficult. So I would say currently you are in the third year of mechanical engineering. If by fourth year you are getting near to 80% or 8.0 CGPA, then it makes sense. You can get direct PhD in that case. And yeah, other thing is, if you want to do PhD but you have low CGPA, I recommend first of all what Indian students are doing in USA. First of all, they are going to masters. They join master's course in any of the university, so they pay the fee of first semester. Once they are into their first semester, from the second semester onward, they basically talk to some professor and convert their master's course into PhD. That is very efficient way. In that particular way, you don't have to pay the whole 40 or 45 lakh for 4 semester. Just pay the fee of 1 semester. From second semester, if you are in PhD, then professor is going to take care of your fee and all. So you don't have to worry for that. This is good way if you have low CGPA, still you want to do PhD. So this is a way which you have to follow. Okay. Next question. Hmm. So, okay, before I come to your question, that is very specific question according to your profile and all, I just want to explain one more thing. So, what is the most important thing for students who wants to go for PhD? So, I sent emails to a lot of professors. I gave 6 to 7 interviews before I joined PhD in Rutgers University. So mostly professors, what they told me, there was one professor from Purdue University. He specifically told me if some student directly applied to Purdue University, I never picked him up. So he never selected those students who just applied to the Purdue University for PhD admission. So what is the most important thing? Most important thing is sending emails to the professor. That is a very, very important thing. Okay. So if you're sending email to the professor, so how it works, professors sometimes they have funding from some industry and all, they have their own funds. When you send them email, if they think your CV is good, then basically they will directly select you. So you don't have to basically uh, uh, go for the university's criteria. Like sometimes university need 325 in GRE. For example, Rutgers need 322 in GRE, but my GRE score was 312. if I directly apply to Rutgers, I always get rejection from that. But I approached one professor, sent him email, and when he got my email, he checked my CV. Now your question came, what professors see in your CV, like whether publications are very, very important. He just checked like what I did in my master's, what software I knew, and what experimental setup I have experience on. And for my project specifically, Python was required. I don't have any Python experience, but he asked me in the interview whether you know about any of the this language and all. So you can always explain them like, okay, I know this much of that. I did this course in which I used Python and all. So there is one interview with the professor, but the good thing is if you send emails to the professor, even if you have less credentials, like your CGP is not above 8, your GRE score is not 320, then also chances are there you will get the selection. So this is the very, very important part. Now people will ask how many emails we have to send. At that time when I was applying, it was the COVID period. I sent around 250 to 300 emails. I got 6 to 7 positive replies. I applied in 5 universities, got 4 selection. Recently, like funding opportunities are huge in US. The students who are recently enrolled in YourPedia, sometimes they send only 20 emails. They got 4 or 5 positive replies, 2 or 3 selections. So this is the number. It depends, like it changes. If you are not from IIT, NIT, you obviously have to send more emails. Sometimes you have to send 200 emails. Uh, Sometimes you are very lucky once like some students sent 2 3 emails, they got 2 3 positive replies, and they got the selections also. So it varies, but this is very, very important. This is something very, very important. Next thing is like how to find the professors to whom you can send emails and all. So there are a lot of tools nowadays which YourPedia is following. So if you're going to go with YourPedia, then we will tell you like how to use ResearchGate, how to use LinkedIn to connect with the professors. So you can find professors specifically in your particular research area. But yes, if you are a direct PhD student, you have bachelor's degree, you want to directly apply for a PhD, then what is the procedure? GRE score matters in that case if you don't have research experience. So it's the overall profile which you have to balance. If you have good publication, let us say, the professors are not worried about your CGPA and all. They will pick you up with low CGPA also. But if you don't have, like you're a direct PhD student, you don't have any research experience, then you have to write GRE, get around 320 and all. And your CGPA is very, very important in that case. It should be 8. Okay. If you're going for direct PhD. So it's the balance between GRE score, your CGPA, and your research profile. If you have research profile, these things doesn't matter. But if you don't have research profile, then these things matter. Okay. Next thing is there must be some student who wants to go for top 20 universities like MIT, Stanford. There you have to send emails to the professor, but generally SOP plays a very important role. Your CGPA, your CV plays very, very important role. So first of all, university's graduate committee will clear basically your credentials. Then you will go for the professors and all. But if you go beyond top 20 universities, professors can directly select you. You send emails. If he's ready, he will fight for you with the university. And even if you are not clearing the university criteria, professors will accept you. But this will not happen in MIT, Stanford. You have to select the criteria. You have to write very good SOPs, very good recommendations you need. So then only you can get admissions in MIT, Stanford, Harvard. So this is overall basically overall thing which I want to discuss with you. Now I will take the questions. So we know if anybody wants to ask question, you can unmute, you can ask me. If you're not comfortable, you can type in the chat box. Okay, so I have some question not on YouTube as of now, but I have one question in the chat box. I did my UG in 2010 to 2014 chemistry. CGPA is 52.52% and did my postgraduate in chemical sciences, which means MSc in chemistry 7.64, trying for $3,000 scholarship fully funded. Okay, so scholarship, I'll explain here. Scholarship is standard for all the PhD courses in USA. If you want to go to USA, So minimum amount which you get in your scholarship is $2,000 per month. You will not get less than that. Always it can be 2,000, between 2,000 to 3,600. So it depends on the cities where you are getting your colleges. If you are getting in some, if your college is in some city which is not a very big city, very small city, like a village, most of the colleges are like that. So there you will get $2,000 per month scholarship. And what is your expenditure? You have to spend like 400 to 450 on your room, and 100 to $150 on your rent and all. So overall, your expenditure is around $800 to $900. If you're living lavish life, or I would say if you're living decent life, then this is the expenditure, and easily you can save $1,000 per month, which you can send to your family in India if you want to support. Okay. And second thing is cities like states like New Jersey. So my college is in New Jersey. Here, things are expensive, little bit expensive. So in these type of cities, you will get $3,000 per month, which is my scholarship currently in New Jersey. But if you're going to more expensive cities like New York City, LA, your colleges are in these particular cities, then you will get 36 to $3,800 per month. So this is how scholarship is. And if you're saying like, can I get scholarship and can I do part-time jobs also in USA? It's not possible. If you're getting scholarship, you only have to survive on that. But scholarships are very decent. If you're single, you can pursue a very good life with this scholarship. If you're married, then there are some different rules in USA. First of all, you can bring your spouse. Many international students are doing like that. They can bring their family, not their parents, but their spouse. Parents can come on the tourist visa for 6 months, but spouse can come and live with you. Other thing is, yes, there is one difference. If you're going to Canada, you are a student, you can bring your spouse and she can also work. But in US, it is different. You can bring your spouse, but she cannot work. The husband or wife, they cannot work in USA if you are a student. Okay, so in this way, some rules are strict for USA. Okay, and yeah, this is about scholarships and all. If you think your CGPA is very, very less, like 52%, it is an issue in most of the universities. But still, there are some universities which are not very competitive. There you can try, and you can always pursue your PhD from theirs. Okay. Sajal Verma is saying, how to select country and university. So yeah, this is very good question. How to select country and university. I mentioned this before also. You don't have to select the university. You have to always select the professors. For PhD, professor is more important than university. And if you're going after good professors in your research area, you will get very good, very, very good career. So very good career means generally what I see after doing the PhD in USA, what people are doing, they have 4 or 5 different career options. First one, if you are not doing PhD very, very good, like if you want to do normal PhD, you don't want to take much tension. So education in USA is comparatively easier than India. Okay, so coursework and all, everything is easier than India. In India, if you're from IIT and all, it is a bit difficult. But here it's very easy. Research wise, it is competitive, but coursework and all, when you have to do the subjects and all, then it's very, very easier than India. Okay, so once you do your PhD, you have 4 or 5 different options. Those who have only 1 or 2 publications in their PhD, they did not put much effort in their PhD. So what they do, they always go for corporates. The corporate jobs are always available. Okay, in India, this is not the case. If you are doing PhD, you are always overqualified for the corporate jobs, but not in US and Europe. So this is one option always you have. If you're not doing PhD, very, very good, just 1 publication or 2 publication, go to corporate and make your career over there. If you want to become a professor in US university, then what you have to do, you have to basically publish 5 to 6 first author paper and some co-author papers. So if you have 12, 13 papers, you can directly get professorship in some of the US universities just after your PhD, no need for postdoctorate and all. And that's where your professor has very important role to play. So if he's giving you very good recommendation, so recommendation system is very strong in USA. If professor is recommending this is very good student, he can work as a professor, and you will be selected as a professor. So this is not the case with India. In India, you have to do postdoc for 2 3 years. Then only you can become professors in IITs, NITs, etc. If you want to become private universities, yes, you can join just after PhD, but not in IITs and NITs. So this is the second option. Third option is there are some research labs like we have ISRO, DRDO in India. You can't work in the defense, but you can always work in other research lab like we have National Science Foundation, NSF in USA. You can always go and work there. If your thesis is good, they will take one interview, and after PhD, you can join that. And some international students, they want to move back to India. They become professors in India, like in IITs and NITs. So if your thesis is good, you have to attend conferences during the PhD and establish some contacts, and after that you can become professor. So that is always you can do. So you have 4 5 career options after PhD. Salaries are very decent if you're working in core engineering, like mechanical engineering core. So your starting salary in corporates are like 120 to 130K, $130,000 per annum, and you can pursue very decent life. So if in USA, if you are getting 7,000 to 8,000 per month, so you can live a very good life basically. So most of the students, what they do, they work in USA for 3 4 years, get some money and move back to India. Okay, so this is always you can do. Yeah. So this is sorry, my I go away from my question. So how to select country and university? University, don't select university. Always select professors. Good professors you have to select. Doesn't matter in which university he is sitting. In USA, in Europe, university ranking doesn't matter. Countries, how to select countries? It depends on your long-term career, long-term plan. If you want to settle in that particular country after your PhD, I would say always go for English speaking countries. It is very easy for you to settle over there, make your career. For example, if you have long term plan in that particular country and you go to the Germany, let us say you did your PhD from Germany, then what will happen if after PhD you want to work in Germany? Sometimes it's difficult. It's not difficult just after your PhD. So if you have PhD degree, it's fine. Like you can enter into some corporate, but you will feel this thing after 6 7 years, because in corporate, what happens? It's not always your educational background. It's other thing also. One of the most important thing is your communication skills. So how you're communicating with people and all. So in German corporates, they generally speak German language. So if you are not very fluent in that, after some time you will see like you will feel a barrier. You are not getting very good promotions and all. So that's where like English speaking countries and non-English speaking countries make some impact. So this is my experience. I talk to many students who are working in these non-English speaking countries and all. Education wise, both are equally good. So German university, if you're going to TU Munich, these type of universities, and if you're coming to USA, it's totally fine. Even IITs are very good in research, but it's always the situation of the country. So in India, like if you do PhD, if you're not getting jobs after that, so no use of doing very good research basically. So that's why if you have long-term plan, uh, go for the English speaking countries like US, Canada. You can go to Australia, New Zealand also. And if you have short-term plan, like you quickly want to do your PhD and you want to come back to India, you want to become professor over there, then yes, European universities are very good, like 3 years. Okay. Next question is GRE is compulsory? So first of all, you need GRE only in USA, not in other countries, not in Canada, not in Europe, not in Australia, New Zealand. So you need only in USA and Singapore if you want to target those. Okay. In USA also, not all the universities need GRE. So one thing is uh, already some universities are there. I would say 40 to 50% who already waived off the GRE. Second thing is if your CV is very good, you're sending emails to the professor And there is one student in the YourPedia who sent email to the professor. Professor was really impressed with his CV, and he asked him to apply in that particular university. That student doesn't have GRE and TOEFL score at that time. So he told professor, I don't have GRE, I don't have TOEFL IELTS. So so at that time, professor basically go to the university graduate committee, and he asked the committee like, this is very good student. I have funding for him. I want to hire him. I took one interview and he's fluent in English. So he doesn't want to basically write TOEFL, IELTS and GRE. So university is okay with that. Now he's in I think North Dakota University in USA. He has fully funded PhD without any of the exam. So it is possible, but yes, that is the thing. Okay, next question from Sajal Verma. Does GATE qualification help in pursuing PhD? So GATE is only helpful in Singapore, I would say, Singapore and Germany. So GATE is valid only in Singapore and Germany, outside India. So it is the only thing where GATE is valid. So Singapore and Germany will give you option. If you don't have GRE score, you can submit your GATE score instead. And you need 90 percentile. If you're above 90 percentile, you are fine. Mostly this score and all, it's not very important for PhD. It's important only for masters. For PhD, your CV, what email you are sending to the professor, that is very, very important thing basically. Okay, so in CV, they will generally check your credentials. Most important credential is what was your master's project. Even publication also doesn't matter, but what was your master's project? That is very, very important. So if you write very clearly, like, this is the thing which I did in master's, this is the software which I use, this is the experimental setup on which I work, then basically this is how it happens. So you have decent chances of getting selection. Okay, I'll take one question from YouTube. I want to do PhD in pharma sector. Can you suggest for me? Yes, so many students are coming for PhD in pharma sector. So who said this? Bitla Sai. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but yes, many students are coming for pharma. No matter from which department you are, there is one procedure which you have to follow, where your PDA will generally help you. So first of all, you can't directly apply for PhD. That is a very, very important thing. So in SOP and all, you can't write like, I want to do PhD in mechanical engineering. You always have to tell them like in which particular domain you want to do PhD. So first of all, shortlist the professors. So if you think professors are there in your particular university, then yes, you have to email them. Okay, and once you got the response, so you will get to know, like, they will send you response like this: thank you for reaching out to us, your CV is really impressive, I do have a PhD position, you can go ahead and apply to the university. Basically this type of replies you will get from the professor. It means these are very strong positive replies. And always I would say you have very decent chances if you apply to those particular universities. But pharma, computer science, chemistry, everywhere procedure is same. You have to draft your CV first of all before the deadlines. Send emails to whom you have to send emails. You have to shortlist the professors. So that is the important thing. So before actually applying in the month of December, in the month of September and October, I send lot of emails, shortlisted lot of professors, and send a lot of emails. Okay. So yeah, next question from YouTube is how to select MS program in USA for engineering management courses, how to select city, state job opportunities. So Rahul Patel, in this particular thing, our mentor will help you. If you're going with YourPedia, will tell you like for electronics, which are the good states where you have to go. So for example, if you're from mechanical, don't select universities in eastern side, like Rutgers is on east coast, but those who are coming for mechanical engineering masters, they are not getting very good jobs and all after their masters and all. But those who are going to low ranking universities in Michigan and all, because there are a lot of industries around Michigan and all, so they get very good internships. Universities have tie up with industries, and they will get very, very good careers after that. So for your particular this engineering management course, you have to talk to our mentor. He will suggest you like where you can apply. So every department has particular states where you have to apply. Don't apply randomly. Don't go for university ranking. So I can give you one example. There is one university called Michigan Tech, and there is one university, Rutgers. Rutgers have very good ranking than Michigan Tech. But if you see mechanical engineering MS from Rutgers, nobody got placed. From Michigan Tech, if 20 students are going, all 20 will get the jobs after their masters and all. So this is only because it's in Michigan. There are a lot of industries around that particular college. No matter like what is the university ranking and all, they have tie-ups. So you will get jobs very, very easily. So in this way, you have to do for every department. Okay. Uh, does GATE qualification help in pursuing PhD? Nobody recognize GATE in USA. If you tell any professor I got GATE rank this, that, they will not recognize. They don't know what GATE is. But yes, if you are sending email in Singapore and Germany, they might recognize that. But other than that, there is no help from GATE if you want to do PhD. Should master thesis topic coincide with PhD project? So this is a question from Bhaskar Paul, and this is a very good question. So here you have to understand the dynamics. If you're sitting in India, you want to apply for fully funded PhD in USA, yes, your master's thesis should coincide with the PhD project. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not coinciding, you should have very, very good profile. Very good profile means your CGPA would be more than 9.0. You have very good GRE score, like above 320, and you have to show some projects in your profile. Then only you have chances in getting that university. So I will explain a little bit more technical over here. So how universities select student? There are two ways. One thing is university will select you. Second thing is professor will select you. Okay. So I already explained you, if you send email to the professor, if he has funding, he will directly give you reply. He will tell you like, okay, your profile is good, go ahead and apply. Then he will ask the graduate committee. He will basically pick you up. In that case, you don't have to clear the university's criteria like high GRE score, good TOEFL and IELTS score, whatever you are going for. So this is not required if you impress the professor already. But there is second way in which you are not applying to a specific, you are not sending email to the specific professors. To send email to the specific professor, your project should be matching. Like whatever you did previously, it should match with the professor's work. Otherwise, you will not get replies. Okay. But if you want to start your PhD completely in a new topic, then you have to do everything perfectly. So what you have to do, CGPA more than 8.5 or 9, around that, then GRE score above 320. Your CV should be very, very good. Some extracurricular activity, some certification courses should be there. Then directly apply to some university. If your profile is very, very competitive, they will check also your university name in India. If you're from IIT and IIT, obviously you will get edge if you're directly applying to some university for PhD. So if you got selected in this way, then university will give you 1 year. So they will give you funding for 1 year, and they will give you chance. They will tell you like within 1 year, select any of the professor in the department. So you can select any professor under whom you want to work. Okay, this is very competitive approach like master student are doing. But for master student, they don't need funding. You need scholarship. So that's why it's competitive for PhD. But other way is simple. Like if you're sending email to the professor, professors will not check your college name, even if you're not from IIT, NIT, but you have experience in particular domain, they will accept you. Okay, so yes, you can start PhD in completely new topic. I would say it's very, very difficult. So yeah, best way is if you have experience in some project during your masters and all, then you can come on that particular project in that particular university. Then after 6 months, you can change your professor. Many Indian students are doing like that also. So they come in a specific project. If they're not getting interest, within 6 months, they can change the professor. They start working with new professor under whom they have interest. So this is what you can do. Uh, Other question is, I am doing masters in environmental engineering in my third semester. My thesis topic is remote sensing. According to you, PhD in environmental engineering is a good career option. So, so what will happen? Like uh, in India and US and Europe, there is one difference basically. If you observe closely in India, for a PhD student, scholarship is coming from MHRD. Okay. And if you check any professor or in US and Europe, then you will see funding are always coming from some industrial projects. Okay. So in US and Europe, if you're getting PhD on any of the topic, you always have very good basically career ahead, because some industry gave the funding to that particular professor. It means industries want professor to work on that particular project. So if you are working on that particular project, then you have decent chance of going into that particular industry. So yes, any option like environmental engineering nowadays, it's a very hot topic in US, so everybody is talking about environment. So you have decent career, Sajal, if you want to pursue PhD. So next is Harshit Gupta. If I applied for PhD in USA, if you want to unmute and ask me question, that would be great for me, because I get chance to conversate with you. But if you are not comfortable, you can type in the chat box. Yes,
Sir, I have
somebody
a
is
question.
asking. Yes, Sakshi.
Sir, I
What
have
is
8.1 something CGPA
okay?
and I graduated from NIT.
Mhm.
And I have one review paper in Willy and many courses on self-driving and computer vision. And I'm targeting masters in mechanical engineering or robotics. What safe universities you believe? What range? Like what safe universities can I target?
So
Or should
to
I try
find
for
this,
PhD?
uh, so your CGPA is what you told CGPA? CGPA is
Sir, 8.1.
8.1. Yeah, you have chances, but you have to write GRE if you want to go for direct PhD. I suggest go for masters, two masters for one semester. If you're interested in PhD, convert your master's courses into PhD. There is a very simple approach which you can follow. But safe universities for masters, leave top 20 universities like Ivy League universities, MIT, Stanford. After that, it depends how you write your SOP, how you're showing your internships, and also internships are important if you want to go to high ranking universities. Okay. Even Ivy League universities, you need at least two internships for masters. But if you don't have two basically two internships and all, then you can't go to that top 20 universities. But after 20 to 50 universities in US, like ranking between 20 to 50, you can always target that, and you have decent chances over there. Masters is very easy to get. Okay. Don't think whether I will get or not. It's your choice for master, because you are paying money. So getting admission is easy. But yes, if you want to go to Ivy League and all, then you need a profile. But beyond that, you can get any university. So go to usnews.com, find the list of the university ranking, leave first 20, between 20 to 50, whatever universities are there, you have decent chance in that.
Thank you so much,
Hello.
sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Harshit.
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Good
I'm
evening.
Harshit, doing a master's here at IIT Kharagpur in thermal and fluid engineering domain under the mechanical engineering department.
Okay.
So, what I think, I have a CGPA of right now at after the end of two semester, I have a CGPA of 8.31, and I am hoping that I will get around 8.75 at the end of the masters.
Okay.
And my question is, I want to pursue a PhD in a completely new domain. Uh, Although it can be familiar with the mechanical engineering domain, but matlab, it should be a highly unique and it should
What
be
is the domain?
the field of mechanical engineering, just like microfluidics, just like phase change materials and all. Which university I can target for it?
Again, like you don't have to target the university, you have to target the professors. So, for example, if you are targeting Rutgers University, but nobody is working on this type of thing, then there is no sense of
Mm.
targeting that particular university. I would say at this moment, what you have to do, first of all, make a good CV. Okay,
Hmm.
make a good CV and showcase whatever basically background you have. Okay, and
Hmm.
if you're making very good CV, then shortlist professor who are working in those that particular area. So if you're from
Hmm.
IIT, NIT, you don't need very good publications and all. Sometimes branding will also work. So if you email some professor, I'm from IIT Kharagpur and this is my CV, I want to work under you. So they will select you in that case also. Try to relate your background with the new project. For example, if you have knowledge of computational fluid dynamics, you can say I know CFD
Hmm.
and but I want to work on phase change material. I want to apply CFD over there. Then it is making sense.
Hmm.
Professor will tell you, okay, show me your transcripts. They will check your grades and all. And
Hmm.
they will tell you, okay, I have vacancy. You can apply to the university. You will get the selection in that case. Okay.
Okay. And the follow-up question regarding that in US or Europe, do we have a same kind of system, just like we have India, like hostel, mess
No,
food?
I was
Do we?
checking your question in the chat box,
Hmm.
but yes, it is not like that. So these countries have some advantages, some disadvantages also. So making
Hmm.
food on the daily basis is very big challenge for me as of now.
Hmm.
But like hostels are there, mess are there. It's a very expensive. None of the international students generally go for hostels and mess. They generally live outside the university, which is cheaper, and they cook their
Hmm.
own food. So hiring a cook over here is very
Hmm.
difficult. Like you have to give a lot of salary to that particular person. So you have to cook their own food. But yes, Indian food is available everywhere in US or Europe, wherever you will go. Indian foods are easily available.
So
But you have
we will
to
also not get a hostel or college
hostel you
apartment.
can hostel you can get. It's expensive. For example, in Rutgers, if you're going for hostel, monthly
Hmm.
rent is $1,100 to $1,200. I am living
Hmm.
outside, or many students are living outside, so
Hmm.
they have to pay only 600 to 700. So this is the difference. If difference is of $500, you always prefer to live outside the university.
600 to 700, which covers all expensive from electricity, water.
No, this is a room rent. Rest of the thing, it comes around like electricity and all, electricity and gas charges. It comes between $50 per month. So it's very cheap over here. So
Hmm.
in total, if you're getting, I'm saying if you're getting $2,000 scholarship, your expenditure will not be more than $700 to $800. If you're getting $3,000, then for me it is like around $1,400 per month, not more than that. So you can easily save money.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
is there any particular time period for PhD, just like we have in India?
Uh, so if you have master's degree, generally you will get PhD in 4 years, because
Hmm.
starting first year you have to do the coursework, and there is a
Hmm.
qualifying exam. Once you clear that, 3 year of research. If you're going to Europe, then it is directly research. So 3 years are sufficient for PhD, but it depends on students also. I would say it mostly depend on student. If you're very slow, you are not paying. In US and all, its system is very different and very efficient than India for PhD. So
Hmm.
in India, what I observed, professors will not take care of you. They will never ask you what you are doing. Most of the professor, I'm saying. So whenever you want to meet him, you can meet him once in 2 months or once in a month. But in US and all, it's very different. Every
Hmm.
week they will take report from you. They will ask you like what you did last week. You have to show them this is what I did in the last week, because professors are paying out of their pocket for your scholarship, for your fee. So that's why it's
Hmm.
very efficient. So generally it will not take more than 4 years to complete PhD. But in India, what happened, professors, like, they will not ask you anything until you are in the fourth year of PhD. Then in the fifth year you start working. You will take 1.5 years. So generally, like, average duration is 5.5 to 6 years. But this is not the case with the USA. From the very first day, you have to start your research.
Hmm. What kind of document do I need to go there in Europe or USA?
So you need a CV, you need a SOP, you need your
Nee,
transcripts.
other than CV, SOP,
Mhm.
I am asking about documents related visa. Uh, is there any
Uh,
scorecard?
for visa, No, generally you have to bring your passport and your offer letter from the university. You have to take all these documents like CV, SOP and all, but they generally will not ask you for that. They will check only your passport and your offer letter. They will ask you some question for USA like why you
No,
want
I
to
am
join this
talking, basically, I am talking about IELTS, TOEFL, or GRE scorecard, these kind of exam result or document.
for visa you're saying?
No, for admission purpose. If I apply online, so here
So
as in India, we need to upload GATE score. If I am preparing for G, I need to upload G scorecard.
So, so in USA, you need GRE scorecard. You need out of IELTS
GRE
TOEFL
for
one.
PhD.
Yes, GRE is for PhD. If university waived off PhD, that is a different story. But if it is not, you have to send that score, and then you have to send one English proficiency exam out of IELTS TOEFL. You need to send one. Okay.
What is the minimum score required for IELTS?
IELTS 6.5, TOEFL it is 80, but some universities have different criteria. So you need like 7 for IELTS, 100 for TOEFL. That is also for some universities. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I will take other questions. So Ashish is saying, I'm a family man with wife and child. I'm having 10 plus year of industry experience, C, C++, Linux, kernel programming, willing to do direct PhD under the possible professor from MIT, Stanford, Harvard, or similar, but I'm having 61% with in engineering with no publication. So Ashish, like I just want to say, MIT, Stanford, Harvard, they are very, very competitive. It's not in your hand or my hand. They need very good profile. So everybody who's applying there, so generally students are coming from India, China, Egypt, Iran, but those are very competitive students. So last year there was one girl who wanted to apply in Ivy League, these colleges, MIT, Stanford. So she she got one reply from MIT because she had 1 year of educational gap. She did not get basically admission in MIT. So these are very competitive. With 61%, to be frank, I don't think it is possible to go in MIT, Stanford, but yes, you can try in other colleges. There you can apply. But with 61% in MIT, Stanford, Harvard, it's not possible according to me. You can try. I'm not demotivating you. You can try, but as per my experience, it is not possible. Uh, you can try for other colleges. I think in US and Europe university ranking, again, I'm saying it doesn't matter from which university you're coming. It is your PhD project after your PhD, like what you did. On the basis of that, you will get the position. So I know many of the cases where students from MIT are not getting that job, but students from very normal ranking university, because that student has relevant research experience, they get the positions and all. But 61%, I don't want to give you false hope, but it's very difficult according to me. Okay. Shivani is saying for environmental engineering, any mentor abroad who can refer for PhD abroad. So this I need to check with our database. There are many students who went for environmental engineering, so need to check with them because it depends on many factors. Sometimes uh, sometimes their professors doesn't have vacancy, then they can't recommend. So it depends on many factors. So if you are going to enroll with YourPedia, I think then you will get this service. So we try to connect you with different people who are working in environmental engineering, but I think don't rely on them. You can try by yourself also, because you just have to send emails. It's the same thing. If you have profile, professors will hire you. Bhaskar is saying, I heard most of my seniors joined a lab, served for 1 or 2 years, published paper, then got chance PhD abroad. Is it needed to have publication? I am a life science student doing masters. Publications are not mandatory. I would say I have many friends in USA who don't have any publication, but they are in very good universities. But some sort of profile it is required. For example, it is your master's project which matters a lot. For example, if I worked on 3D printing, I have experience on 3D printer. I have experience on simulation. But since masters of in master's thesis is of 1 year, I did not get chance to publish the work. Then if I'm mentioning this thing in my CV, I have experience on this thing, but I don't have any publication, people will get the opportunities. But of course, if you have publication, things are easier for you. 10% work X won't gonna add. Ashish, I think 10 plus work X will add, but not in MIT Stanford. It will add in other universities, but in MIT Stanford, it is difficult. They need some different sort of people, but still, I am not the expert. I'm not in the committee of MIT and Stanford. If you think you can apply in 2 or 3 universities, it will not. I think they don't need GRE, MIT, Stanford, and all. You can ask for fee waiver also, application fee waiver, but I think fee is also not very expensive. Write a very good SOP and you can apply in that. So as per me, it's difficult, but if you think you can apply and try in at least 2 universities. Pawan Kumar is saying, I completed my master's in transport engineering from BITS Pilani this year with 8.3. I want to do PhD in pavement engineering. So how can I identify my professor? So Pawan, I can't explain you here because it's a very long process, but there are some websites like ResearchGate, like LinkedIn, which we tell our student who got enrolled with YourPedia, then we'll help them in finding the PhD. So you will find the exact professors who are working in those domains through these websites. So, but it's not possible for me to explain it here. It's a very long process. So there is a separate session for that. Ashish Verma is saying for artificial intelligence PhD, is there chance of getting PhD in Ivy League without publication, and what documents to be prepared for it? So again, Ivy League chances are there. Write a very good SOP. Publications, I think it is required in Ivy Leagues. At least one publication is required. It's not mandatory. They never mentioned it, but as I'm saying, like lot of students who are very, very good in their respective countries, they apply in those universities. So I'm not saying there is 0% chance. If you write very good SOP and all, and your profile is very good, chances are there. So SOP matters a lot in these Ivy League colleges. You have to tell them like why you are a best fit for this PhD position for this particular school. So that matters a lot in these universities. But if you leave that top 20 universities, it doesn't matter. Like if you send, if you basically apply in like 30 ranked university, then it doesn't matter whether you have good SOP and all. You can always impress the professor and you can get your admission. I will take one question from YouTube, that is from Chandrakala. Purdue MEM Engineering 7.2 CGPA, good project, possible, please guide us. I don't know whether you want to get admission in master's or PhD. Please explain, Chandrakala, because it's not clear from your message. So please comment in the chat box. Yes, so one question, if someone has published chapter and publication, does this enhance profile? So any sort of publication will enhance your profile, no matter whether it's a book chapter, it's a conference paper, review paper, research paper, everything will enhance your profile. So what's the benefit of this thing? So professors always want to know whether you have experience in writing the research articles. If you write a book chapter, it's fine, like you have some experience in writing the research article. So that is what they need. So it will help if you have this thing, basically book chapter and all. I also had book chapter, so it always helps you. Okay, so I will take last question now. For Australia, what are the requirements for PhD? So this is my last question. In Australia, how it happens? First of all, you have to send email to a particular professor who has open vacancy. So there are some websites through which you can get the open vacancies. Send email to that professor. He will check your email. He will check your CV. So once your CV is okay, then he will send you reply. Your CV seems good to me. Write a research proposal. Basically, research proposal is very, very important for Australia and New Zealand, and it is mandatory. You every time you have to basically write that particular research proposal. So what is that? You have to tell them on which project you want to work during your PhD. What is the purpose of that? They want to check your skills like writing skills also, and whether you have understanding of a particular PhD project, you have understanding of that particular domain or not. This is the thing which is required from that side. They will give you 7 to 10 days after your email response. You have to send them research proposal in 7 to 10 days. Then again, they will check your research proposal. If they think your writing is good, your proposal is good, basically you have knowledge of that particular topic, then they will sign a form for you in which they will write like, okay, this is a student, I want to supervise him. You have to take that form, submit it to the university, and then you apply for the scholarships and all. So this is how it works in Australia, New Zealand. You always have to write research proposal. It is not required in USA. Sometimes it is required in Europe, but not in USA and Canada. Yes, so I think I provide you a lot of information. And if you have any question, our basically executive, he posted one Google form. You can fill that Google form if you want to connect with me for later on. Yes. Okay, so somebody saying I have written a review paper as my final year project under my guide. Is this going to helpful? Yes, obviously it will helpful if you have a review paper. I'm saying every sort of publication will help you. So yes, so if you get a chance to write any conference paper, any publication in low impact factor journal, always go for it. It is going to help you, really help. It is really helpful for you in your PhD studies. So I always recommend, yes, go for this thing particular publication and all. So that's it from my side. I will come up again with another session, maybe on the next Sunday. Okay, so if you have any other question, you can join those session. I hope this session is helpful for you. If you need any further guidance, so one Google form is there in the chat box. You can always fill that, and our executive will connect you with our mentors. So you will get more insights basically about your profile and all. So all the very best, and thank you very much for joining this session. Hope we will meet again. Thank you, everyone.